Hello from RCR. Today we're going to show you on the Superpi and Megapi how to firstly connect your console to the internet, secondly how to scrape artwork, which is basically download the artwork from the internet, videos, that kind of thing. We do that on all of the cards that we provide, but obviously if you change it up or whatever in terms of you add new ROMs, games, you might be missing some artwork. Also as well, you can choose from a variety of styles, so you might have changed the way that the system displays and it's not displaying artwork for certain bits and pieces like the wheel mode, or the 2D box art instead of 3D box art or whatever. So we can show you that, and then the final thing that we'll show you is just where the updates are for the system, which will come down either automatically or you can manually choose to search for them and then select them. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Let's get going. So basically press start. So in there, first thing we want to do is connect to a network. So obviously network settings is where we want to go to. So I'm just going to select there. It tells me it's not connected. So status not connected, IP address not connected. This is kind of how it will look like. Apart from yours will probably have the Wi-Fi like this, greyed out. That's just a toggle tab there that you push the A button on and it will move across. So we want to connect this. So there's two ways you can connect it. One's with an Ethernet cable. On the Superpi, the Ethernet ports are located on a slot on the left hand side towards the rear, and it just pulls out, and then you can fit a Ethernet into there. On the Megapi, it's on the opposite side at the bottom. There's a slider, sort of like a bit of plastic, it comes out. Now I just will say with that, they are quite tight, the spaces in there, so getting the cable in is okay, but getting it out with the prong on the top of the cable, it can be a little bit tricky to do with your hands. Previously in the past, when I've used Ethernet, which I do a fair bit to be fair, because obviously transferring quite a number of files to the consoles for the games, you need something to sort of pry it down, as it were, like a mini screwdriver or something like that. So just letting you know. So most people would connect via Wi-Fi anyway these days. So we'll show you how to do that. So firstly, enable the Wi-Fi. Then the Wi-Fi SSID, that's the name of your network, so that's what your router's called. So if you haven't renamed it, like I renamed mine once to Freebeer, because you can do that in the router settings, but this isn't a video about that. This is about actually just connecting it. So on your router there'll be a sticker normally, and if you haven't renamed it, the Wi-Fi SSID will be on there. As you can see, the one that I normally connect to is this one here, which is a Sky router 187C9. So it'll list that on the white sticker normally, or blue sticker on the bottom or the rear of your router, depending on what router you've got. So if I go into there, as you can see, it's picked up a load of different networks, like it does on your phone, say, when you search for something. Or you can choose, if you've got a hidden one, put a manual input in, but won't go into that really, because most people don't hide their networks these days because they're all security protected. So I want to select Sky 187C9, and then from there Wi-Fi key is just the password. So again, if you haven't changed the password, on the bottom of your router or the back of it there'll be a sticker and it will say Wi-Fi password. So they're normally case sensitive, so to get uppercase here you press X, okay, press X to go to lowercase. So obviously it can be letters and numbers, alphanumeric, or it's just whatever you've put in. If you've put something in, if you haven't, it'll just be what's on the sticker. So I'm going to quickly do that now, and then I'll meet back out at the network screen. So here we are again. We're back at the network settings screen now. So all I did was put my Wi-Fi password in, backed out, waited about 10 seconds. It then revved up, connected, and it tells me it's connected. It also tells me the IP address, which is the address of your console on your network. So it's connected to the router. It's giving it an address, a bit like a physical street address, as it were. So that's 192.168.0.9. The host name of the console is RCR console in this instance. Yours might be different, and it tells me that basically it's connected, so that's good, that's what we wanted. So that's the first part. So we're now connected to the internet. So from there we'll talk about scraping artwork. So artwork, videos, everything like that, we use Screen Scraper. You can use the games database, but their artwork isn't as good, it's not as comprehensive. It will search for videos and stuff, but there's not as many choices, so that's why we choose to use Screen Scraper. Now at the start, when I was talking about box art and stuff, if you change it from 3D to 2D, obviously the 3D box art is different to the 2D box art. So obviously if you changed it at any point, the boxes that are displayed under the systems won't have any artwork in. But you can change it, you just need to re-scrape it, and that's what we're showing you how to do here. So if you didn't want videos, for instance, you can just turn them off so it doesn't search for any videos. Okay. Videos take up a fair amount of space, so give you an example, an Atari 2600 game is probably about, I don't know, 10 kilobytes, which is, we talk about megabytes, so on and so forth, for kilobytes smaller than a megabyte, 1024 kilobytes in a megabyte, so on and so forth. So a piece of artwork could be a megabyte or 10 megabytes or 20 megabytes, whereas the game could be 10 kilobytes. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes the artwork takes up on videos more than your actual game files. So yeah, if you're adding stuff on and things like that, you might want to deselect it. Still looks great, it just means it doesn't run a video for that particular game. If you've already got videos on the system, it's already been scraped, which it would have from us, it will still have videos of the system at the start. Obviously when you go into the menu and scroll down the game systems, it will still have videos in there, unless you're adding a completely new system. So yeah, anything existing will still be there and it will still play, it's just that it won't look for new videos. So from there, you don't need a username, you don't need a password, you can only scrape, I think it's something like 5,000 bits of artwork every 24 hours. I've never really had a problem. Bear in mind, put on 15,000 games sometimes onto a system. I've had it happen once where I did 2 in one day and it just said to me, no, you can't do any more. You've had your fill, sort of thing, you're being greedy. So that was pretty funny. So anyway, the filter here is missing medias or all games, so only missing medias or all games. So if I do all games, it will just re-scrape the artwork for everything that's on the system and it will take forever. So obviously I want to do just missing medias. Systems, I'm only going to do one system right now. So I've got to find one that hasn't got some artwork, which I'm not too sure about, to be quite honest with you. Which ones have and which ones haven't. Let's try Mega Drive, see if that's got anything missing, because I only added that last night. If I go to start, yeah, it's got 311 items. That basically it's going to find the artwork for the videos, the box art and descriptions in English for that. So what I'm going to do is, I'll let this continue, I'll let it do the 311 tiles, and then I'll just quickly finish the video on this part, and show you that that artwork's all there. So that's finished downloading the artwork and videos and everything like that for the Genesis, so we'll just have a quick look in the system. As you can see, everything's there. If I stop on a title, the video snippet will play of the game, which is pretty cool. Like I say, you can turn that off. It does take up more space on your memory card, but I quite like it, so adds a little bit to the system. Sometimes it will fail to find images for a game if the game hasn't got anything available, but pretty much I've only ever come across like 1 or 2, and they were like Japanese, proper Japanese titles, released only in Japan, for like a console that you've probably never heard of, like the Mitsubishi or whatever it's called, stuff like that. So yeah, that's how you scrape artwork and videos. So for the last part of this, we'll just quickly show you how to update the system. So start again, updates and downloads, 2 options. You've got check for updates. If you have that enabled like that, basically it will automatically check for updates when it's connected to the internet, and if there's any new updates it will notify you and tell you on the screen. Okay. Update types, stable and beta. So beta obviously is stuff that's they're putting onto the system that they're trialing, so it's not always been fully tested, and sometimes it could cause an issue with the console, or something might not quite work 100%. I recommend just sticking with stable, to be quite honest, with any BIOS, like a PC or anything like that. If any of you guys have ever upgraded your BIOS and there's a beta one or a graphics card BIOS or something like that, sometimes it can just cause more problems than it's worth, and you end up reverting back to the original one anyway. So the stable one, the bonus of that is obviously it's been fully tried, fully tested. Okay, so if you're not using the automatic updates, or you just wanted to check for an update, you can just hit start update. It tells me there that there's no update available for mine because it's been updated. So that's connecting to the internet, scraping artwork and updating the system. Hope you all have a great day. Thanks very much.